Right now, the U.S. is bracing for the impact from Hurricane Idalia. This is a live look at Naples, Florida. This is rather our radar as preparations are being made in Georgia, where the storm's impact will be felt over the next couple of days. This is a live look at Naples, Florida, courtesy of EarthCam, where the storm is nearing Florida's coast. Now today, Governor Brian Kemp issued a state of emergency for the entire state, effective immediately through Friday, September 8th.
We want to get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb, who just got an update on the storm's track.
Yeah, the storm was just updated at the top of the hour. It's now a Category 2 hurricane. It is expected to be a Category 3 storm as it moves inland tomorrow. I have more on that track in just a second. First, though, I want to show you what we're watching here with scattered showers and storms developing here. These are not as intense and they're not as widespread as what we're dealing with yesterday when we had multiple severe thunderstorms with this. In fact, here in Atlanta, we're looking pretty good. Just a couple of isolated showers to the north. Here on the south side and to the west of the city, we are dealing with a few showers that are just below what we would classify as severe. These here in Henry County near McDonough, down 75. Heavy rain, thunder and lightning with that, and winds between 40 and 50 miles an hour. This cluster here that's moving into the southern parts of Coweta County there, and the northern parts of Meriwether County, also a lot of thunder and lightning. More of those storms back out to the west of us. These are not necessarily related to Idalia. This is because of a stalled out front we have in our area, but we are getting some influence and tropical moisture from the south. Here's the storm right now. Latest advisory coming in, Category 2 storm with max winds around 100 miles an hour. You can see the center of circulation here, but as we always say, don't focus just on that center of circulation, because look at these bands here. The entire western coast of Florida is going to be battered by this storm as it moves in. Here's the latest advisory that we have. Winds 100 miles an hour, Category 2 storm, hurricane warnings from south of Tampa on up to around the Big Bend region there over toward Apalachicola. We still expect it to make landfall as a Category 3 early tomorrow and then move into southeast Georgia. Still a Category 1 storm as it moves into southeast Georgia Wednesday afternoon, and then moving on up toward the north and also to the east here. We still are going to be on the east side of the track, which is the better side to be on. It doesn't mean we're going to escape any impacts, but the worst impacts will be to the south of us. We're going to break down our rain chances, the potential for any wind in our area, and when we'll see the system move out coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. With that incoming rain, it is the second night in a row where we could see flooding and washed out roads. 11 Alive's Natasha Gibbons is live for us this evening along Spring Hill Parkway in Smyrna, where storms washed out the road last night. Latasha.
That's right, Jennifer. There were several roads around Cobb County that were blocked off yesterday, but at this hour, officials say this is the only one that remains closed. Now, most of the areas around the metro that were flooded yesterday are now dry, at least on the surface, but that could change with more rain expected. From I-75 south to Cobb County, several parts of the metro were besieged with water during Monday's flash flooding.
We're talking a couple of inches an hour, so somewhere between 3 to 4 inches within 5 hours. That is an excessive amount of precipitation into the system in a short period of time,
causing flooding on freeways, ponding over pavement, and washed out roads like this one on Spring Hill Parkway in Smyrna. Some drivers wanted to know if more drains are needed in the metro or if there's a way to prevent scenes like these from reoccurring. We posed those questions to Natalie Dale with the Georgia Department of Transportation.
When you get this type of precipitation that falls, it's not indicative of a system that isn't substantial. It's indicative of a storm that brings more rain than the system can handle.
Dell says there are other factors that played a role.
In a storm situation like we saw yesterday, lots of heavy winds. That's going to bring down branches and leaves. Any trash that's outside of the system, it can easily block a drain very quickly and create hazardous scenarios.
And Dale says this is another reminder of why it's important not to litter and always heed warnings, because storm systems can be unpredictable.
If there is a flash flood warning, stay off the road if you can, because you never know where flooding might occur.
GDOT crews spent the day inspecting roadways and visiting those areas that had the most water retention, and they also made sure the drains in those areas were clear. Back to you.
All right, Latasha, thank you so much. And you can make sure that you stay weather aware by downloading the 11 Alive News app. Just scan that QR code right there on your screen, and you can set weather alerts for your area.